Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Jackie Fish and welcome back to Nostalgic Sundays. Today we're going to be taking a look at two new / updated mods that have recently made their way onto the Total War Rome 2 workshop. The first one being a mod that adds in the 3 Roman houses into the campaign alongside the Senate from Total War Rome 1. So if you're looking for that kick of nostalgia, this mod is great and has recently been updated, as it used to be a very old mod, but it was completely outdated, crashed a lot, didn't really work too much. So a modder has gone in and basically re-updated that mod as well as added in a bunch of really cool stuff. And then the second mod we'll look at after that one is going to be a mod that adds in the Rome Total War 1 start positions for every single faction as well as all their units. So there's going to be kind of Rome 1 units that you know and love, the Royal Spartans who are basically naked in their little tunics, as well as all the other units that have also been added into the game. So we'll be taking a look at both of them, and I highly recommend it. If you haven't played any of like Rome 1, or you've been missing that game, but maybe you can't really face going back to an old game like Rome Total War 1 because of the UI or whatever reason, this is a great addition because it is absolutely awesome. And also you just use the Rome Total War soundtrack, which again I'll link down below in the description, which is what I've got on. Just stick that bad boy on, play some Rome 2 with Rome 1 factions. Oh, it's a nostalgia feel indeed. So as you can see, there are 4 factions you can play as with the first initial mod that just adds in these 4 houses right here. You obviously have the Scipii, you have the SPQR, obviously the Senate itself, you have the Brutii, and you obviously also have my personal favorite, and I think most people's personal favorite, the Julii. Let me know in the comments down below what one of these houses was your favorite back in Rome Total War 1. I personally loved the Julii just because it was fun fighting barbarians. That's kind of the greatest thing for me as a kid was, kind of Rome versus hordes of barbarians. I know a lot of people obviously also did love the Scipii to fighting the Carthaginians and kind of conquering that. And the Brutii, Brutii are probably my least favorite, honestly, the faction I played the least. So each one of these factions do have their own separate bonuses and stats right here. You obviously get the generic Roman plus 15 marching to movement and for all armies, which is amazing, and also the ability to recruit 2 more soldiers. The Scipii get a bonus, an extra 15% movement range to all armies and fleets, which is absolutely crazy, but I think it's much needed. The Scipii only start off with 1 settlement, so they need the extra movement to get around there. And they also are very good seafarers, so they get more recruitment slots to fleets as well. So the Scipii start off the smallest out of any of the Roman houses, but definitely have the ability just to expand very quickly. The Senate itself gets a bonus to tax and also more money from wealth and agriculture, which is pretty funny. Actually, I don't know, do the Scipii in this mod get the north of Corsica? We'll have to load in as them and take a little look-see, because I'm not actually sure if they do get that island or not. And then obviously we have the Brutii. They get a bonus with all Hellenic factions, which is kind of funny because obviously that's your main route of expansion, but I guess you could go into Sicily and cut off the Scipii quite quickly. That's all, again, something that I always used to do as well, was try and cut off one of the Roman houses from expanding in a certain direction so that they would be kind of stagnant for a while, and that'd make the civil war pretty easy. But yeah, they get bonuses as well for foreign cultures, which is great for them, and also cheaper auxiliary units, again, absolutely amazing. And then finally we have the Julii. They go ahead and get bonuses with all the barbarian tribes. They get a huge attacking melee buff to their units when fighting against barbarians, and also a huge culture conversion as well. +6s, no joke whatsoever. So let's just load in, I guess, because I want to show you guys what the units look like on the battlefield. I guess we'll load in as the Brutii, because it's probably quickest for me to go in and just fight Epirus immediately. So it's probably the quickest way for us to dive in and, yeah, check out the units. So obviously all the units are coloured. The Julii have their quite, kind of generic red, which I believe the base game is very similar to. Then you obviously have the Brutii in their green and the Scipii in their blue. So a very nice setup, and again gives a great feel. Something I would absolutely kill for with a mod like this is for a mod to add this mod in with Divide et Impera, or Divide et Impera, the overhaul mod for Total War Rome 2. That would be absolutely spectacular to play a head-to-head like this, where one of you are playing the Brutii and another is playing as the Julii, and you both just build up with population, supply, all the cool units of the reforms. Oh, that would be my absolute dream for a mod for Total War Rome 2. It really would be absolutely amazing. But I imagine that would be a lot of work because Divide et Impera adds in so many scripts and custom stuff that, yeah, it's probably be quite difficult to do, but something I would love to see nonetheless. So as you can see, all the unit cards here, something that would be really cool as well if they managed to ever get the unit cards themselves into the game as well from Rome 1. That would definitely kind of add in the nostalgia. So let's just get everyone on boats and we'll make our way over here and we'll just go fight Epirus. We'll just go fight them and then we'll load into a battle and you guys can see them up there as well. It's also great as well on the next mod we're going to be looking at has a really cool turn timer as well that you can look at up here. All the faction flags are Rome 1, so it's super cool. Obviously, as well, you all start off allied with one another as well. So, much like in Rome 1, you're not a client state of the SPQR, but you are all an ally. And yeah, it doesn't seem like they do hold Corsica in the north. Because yeah, this is Sardinia, this is Corsica. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the Scipii in this mod hold Corsica, which is kind of, pretty bad. They only have one settlement. They're obviously going to have to expand very quickly and just try and go for Carthage, immediately taking all these islands and using that fleet. The Julii obviously hold the north as well. We can actually take a look at what they start with because I'm sure they'll give me military access. If we just get military access with all the boys. Again, I feel like we should probably have military access already because, we're all just furthering the alliance goal of the Romans. You're not going to give me military alliance. Are we only... We're military allies. I wonder why I can't see them. I should be able to, right? With military access. Maybe trade. They don't even give me trade. Goddamn Rome. I don't know why it's not doing that. But either way, we will just move in. We'll get our fleet here. And then we will show you guys the units really quickly. So I'll get my army off. I'll just fight these guys. We'll dive into battle so that you guys can see the glorious Roman green marching forward into glory. And it does look great. It does definitely give you loads of nostalgia, especially as you guys can hear with the Rome Total War 1 music. It's absolutely spectacular. So let's just quickly dive into battle. The only thing that's really missing is speeches. If you had speeches, that would be great. So obviously, as you can see, you just have kind of the generic green mixed in with some kind of the other standard shields as well. They're still very cool nonetheless. The Triarii, I guess you do have speeches, but not like proper speeches like we have in Rome 1. So again, that's the Triarii. We have the Velites back here. And obviously, you can obviously know that the Scipii will be blue and the Julii will be green, and obviously the Senate will be purple themselves. So yeah, that's going to be that, and obviously you also have some naval units out here as well. Again, green ships. They're actually pretty nice in green, honestly. So yeah, this is going to be the Roman House mod. I'll go ahead and jump over to the next mod we'll be taking a look at today on Nostalgic Sundays is what I'm classing this day. And yeah, you guys can go ahead and check out what that mod has to offer so you can make a decent informed decision when you are deciding on what mod you want to load up and play these houses. Okay, so the next mod we're going to be looking at is a Total Rome 1 conversion mod, which adds in all the factions from Rome Total War 1 into the grand campaign for Rome 2, as well as all the units as well, which is super exciting because there's many an awesome unit that was in Rome 1, which was kind of gimmicky but still really fun to use, and that has now been added. So the mod has gone ahead. You've got the Julii, I guess just the way it's set up, and you can play as 3 different houses of the Julii for whatever reason, and then you have the other 2 houses set up right here, the Scipii and the Brutii. The Scipii in this mod, I believe, do actually start off with Corsica, so that's kind of a bit of an advantage for them, and each of these factions as well start off at war with their respective enemy. I believe the Julii start off at war with the Gauls to the north, the Romans start off at war with the Carthaginians, and the Brutii with the Greek city-states, because Epirus is no longer a thing in this campaign. You obviously also have Carthage as well, and again we can take a look at them momentarily, but if we go over to the Greek houses, these are Gallic tribes, so you obviously have the Gauls right here, and a lot of the other obviously also Rome 2 factions as well. You have the Seleucid setup, you have the Macedon, the Egyptians down here, which are cool. Where do we have the Greeks as well? Greek states, you obviously have the Greek states, and again they do have a lot more land than it shows on this. It says Epirus, or this is Syracuse. Okay, interesting. These pictures obviously aren't accurate for what they have. So this is No, this is Epirus. So Epirus aren't a thing in this. So let's just load up as the Greek city-states, because I guess this isn't exactly clear, and we'll be able to see a bit better on the actual campaign map itself. But yeah, it was very nostalgic going and loading this mod up for the first time, and just being like, wow, look at all these factions and all the icons as well. Definitely reminds me of a simpler time with Total War and Rome Total War. That is for sure. So obviously you'll be able to recruit all the elite units and stuff, and we'll take a look at the custom battle screen after we just jumped in here really quickly.
Macedon has presumed to exert its will.
Oh, it's Macedon that owns it all. Okay, yeah, so Macedon own basically the whole of Apollonia, which is great. And they also own Pulpa Deva. Oh my god, they are so strong at the beginning of the game. But yeah, Macedon obviously own a lot of territory to begin with. That's going to give them a pretty big advantage. But you also own Pergamon as the Greek city-states, and you also own Sparta. Wow. Yeah, so you're owning and you also own Rhodes as well. You're going to be into conflict with the Seleucids probably pretty quickly, which is very exciting. But yeah, that's not bad. Like, these factions start very strong indeed. And if I just raise an army really quickly, we can take a look at some of the units that have also been added. So again, the actual unit cards aren't different. They're kind of, I'm pretty sure, the basic ones from Rome 2, but these are all custom units as well. So you have Militia Hoplite, you have Peltists, you have Hoplites, and you also have Greek Cavalry. Again, it would be amazing if the modder could get in the unit cards from Rome 1. That'd be really exciting, because you'd be able to add loads of stuff. And also the buildings as well. Like, adding in some of the custom building art and stuff would really go a long way, I think, at making this mod feel more complete and more immersive that you are playing Rome 1. As you can see, we have the Romans over here with Consintia and Brundisium. Syria. Oh, you also own this as well. Cool. So the Greek city-states actually have their hands in a lot of pies at the beginning. Obviously, you want to be fighting for Greece. You can be fighting for Sicily and maybe going into Rome early. And you also have land out here. Obviously, it will leave you kind of vulnerable as well from, you know, many powers attacking you. But the Greek city-states, yeah, they have a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. You can also see as well up here in the north that the Scipii do own Corsica, so they can not get absolutely smashed around immediately as well. They're going to actually have to plan to do some stuff and work out. So let's just load in as like the Gauls, and then we'll load in as the custom battles. So there we go, loading in as the Gauls, and as you can see, they start off with a lot of land at the beginning of the game. Again, that's something that Rome 1 did do. There wasn't like a ton of minor factions. There was a lot of strong, powerful factions at the beginning of the game, and the Gauls are definitely one of them. You have basically the united land all the way around here, able just to assimilate very quickly. You own a fair amount of territory up here. You own Patavium, you own Mediolanum as well in the north, and you also own a few territories, and apparently a territory all the way over here. Don't really know why they own this land, but I guess they do. And yeah, look about the Spanish as well. So this is very interesting. Like, it'll make for a very, very challenging campaign, I think, because you obviously have a lot of land to begin with, but all of a sudden you are going to be up against it. And again, you can really start to see, look about the savage dogs as well. Skirmisher Warband, the Warband, and the Swordsman as well. Not very creative names in Rome 1, but still cool nonetheless. And yeah, you'll be going up against the might of the Romans very, very quickly, I assume, which will be pretty difficult because obviously Rome can spam out like 8 units in a turn. And you obviously are not making a ton of money at the beginning of the game. You are barbarian. You probably have really high... actually, not that high Imperium, which is not going to be affecting Empire maintenance that much, but still something to worry about. Corruption's only at 8%, so not awful. But yeah, still an interesting start nonetheless. So let's just load into the custom battle so you guys can see all the units, and then we will call the video there. Okay, well, for whatever reason, it seems like my custom battles just crash every time I click on it without any mods on as well. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, but what I'll do is I'll put up some screenshots of the custom battles for you guys so you guys can check them out for yourself. So yeah, go ahead and check out both the mods in the link in the description. Go ahead and let me know what one you're going to be playing, if you think these are cool, what you'd like to see from these mods in the comments down below. Obviously, drop a like if you enjoyed the video and you want to see more of these mod spotlights. I'd be happy to go through more Rome Total War mods as they pop up on the workshop, as well as like reskins, as well as a ton of other like cool maps and stuff like that. Would be kind of fun to do, I think. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next one.